When Herb Dean says, protect yourself at all times, what does that mean? Does that mean no matter what happens, protect yourself? Right? Hey, what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach D, the Wild Man, coming at you again with another episode of Coach D Media. Now, you know I do with Coach D Media. I talk about all things combat sports related, from the highs to the lows. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it. All right, Jarrett Brooks versus Joshua Pacio at One Championship 166, March 1st. Now, we all know what happened by now. You know, Jarrett Brooks did an illegal slam, right? Dumped Joshua on his head, disqualification. But I have a couple of questions. So let me ask you this question first. When Herb Dean says, protect yourself at all times, what does that mean? Does that mean no matter what happens, protect yourself, right? If a fighter's on your back, get ready to dump you, do what you can to protect yourself. Or is he saying protect yourself on everything else except when a fighter is on your back, get ready to dump you on your head? Then it's up to the fighter who's going to dump you to protect you from getting injured. All right. So that's the only thing I don't quite get. I understand, being dumped on your head. A lot of damage can happen. You can get, a broken neck, yada, yada, yada. But there's so many other things that can cause damage too. Being kicked with a shin to your head can do some real damage, right? Being punched in the face on the multiple times can do some real damage. Getting a knee while on the ground can do some real damage. There's so many things that can do real damage. Why is being slammed the one you choose to disqualify on? Okay? A fighter who is supposed to be a well-veteran fighter should know how to protect himself from being slammed, right? That's my opinion. All right. In the States, that's legal, right? At one, it's not. But being kneed on a fighter on the ground is illegal in the States, but it's not in one. So there's different rules, right? So it's hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am truly sympathetic, about Joshua getting hurt, getting neck damage. He's gonna be out for a while. That's how he makes his living. I never want to see any fighter get hurt to where he can't earn his living, right? But that was the fight. We were in a fight, right? Jarrett Brooks did what he had to do to secure position, right? And he took him down and grounded and pounded him. That's what he's supposed to do. He told you going in, I'm going to take Joshua out to where his name never comes up. Joshua should have been aware that this guy is coming to get him, and do everything he can to keep it from happening, right? Everybody wants to complain about fight styles. If you look at, Khabib and all the wrestlers and all the grapplers who do a lot of ground and pound, take you to the ground and you get wore out on the ground. A lot of fighters hate that because they say, a lot of fans hate that because they say it's boring, right? But it also comes down to it's not Khabib's job to not take a fighter down. It's the opponent's job to not being taken down, okay? It was Joshua's job to not let Jarrett Brooks slam him. That was his job. That wasn't Josh's job to protect him from being slammed, right? Now, granted, there's many other ways to be slammed, but that's the way that's going to do the most damage. He said, look, if I get you in the air, I'm going to dump you on your head so I can grind and pound you and get you up out of here, right? It's more energy on freaking Jarrett's job to get the fighter up and take him down, right? Josh could have wrapped his legs around Jarrett's legs. Josh could have did a whole bunch of other stuff, right, to keep that from happening. But he knew he will be safe from being dumped on his head. Just like a fighter who puts 3 fingers down, in the UFC, you put 3 fingers down, you're neutral. You can't be kneed in the head. You can't be kicked in the head. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Josh knew, okay, if Jarrett picks me up, I'm good. But if you were taught in the States, that's not an option. You going up and you going down the hardest I can, because I want you up out of there. How many power slams you've seen when the fighter's been KO'd? Look Lawrence Phillip, who's also in the one championship, he did a belly-to-belly power bomb, put old dude right out. Okay? So, there's always those fine lines, right, about how this is going to go. And I feel sorry for Jarrett. Jarrett was ready for this. This was Jarrett's shot, right? Even though he was the belt holder, it was still his shot because everybody is all about Joshua Pacio, right? I'm not saying they ain't down with Jarrett, but the fan base, Oriental, the whole nine, you get it, the Philippine market, the whole nine, naturally is going to be about Joshua. So him being hurt, not a good look, right? It took a year for this fight to come back around. So now what did Jarrett Brooks does now? Is he going to hold out, for Joshua to come back? Who is he going to fight next? He's not going to get Demetrius Johnson now because Demetrius Johnson said, hey, he ain't the belt holder. Who got the belt? You see what I'm saying? So also, let's look at this. How does Joshua feel about getting the belt due to a disqualification? Does he consider himself the champion or does he consider himself just a belt holder? Okay? Because pride should kick in somewhere to go, do you want to win by disqualification or do you want to beat the guy? Now you got an asterisk, right? Because freaking Jarrett Brooks already beat you in the first fight, right? He got behind you very fast, had a controlling position, picked you up, dumped you on your head, and was grinding and pounding you until you was out. Now, granted, you was hurt. How everything unfolded, you was hurt. You couldn't do much about it, but he was in control of that up to that point. You was going up, nothing you could do about it. You was coming down, nothing you could do about it, right? See, so he was in control of that up to that point. It could have been, for the way it was looking, it could have been more of the same, right? So what do? Do you consider yourself a champion? Do you consider yourself just a belt holder until you can get back and get this one back? Do you want it back, right? All these questions. Does the one championship play it safe and go, you know what? Maybe we should not give Joshua, Jarrett Brooks, just yet. Let's find him some other fighters to fight so he don't have to fight killers like Jarrett Brooks so we can keep this star power of Joshua. Do we do that? What happens next is the question, right? Because, right, Jarrett Brooks is now in a holding pattern because there's not that many stars that Jarrett Brooks can fight that's going to give him a huge payday, going to boost his star profile, right? And gets him back to the belt. Only one that gets him back to the belt is a rematch with Joshua, right? But if they want to protect Joshua, that may come back around no time soon. I know we're coming to the States. It makes sense for that rematch to happen in the States. What if Joshua's not ready? Does Jarrett Brooks get to fight on the state card at all? He didn't fight in the first one. Why wouldn't he? He's an American fighter. So who knows what can happen, right? You see how all these crazy things are popping up? It don't take much for this thing to go off the rails, right? Because getting a match is not as easy as people think. A, it's got to be right timing. Got enough time to go through a camp, get in shape. B, you got to have a certain appeal, certain style power. It just can't be just a match if you're a high-profile fighter because you want to get paid, right? So if there's a belt on the line, it's always that who you want to win, right? It ain't always up to grabs like people think, right? I'm not saying it's rigged, but there's favorite fighters, right? Joshua is our favorite fighter in the Asian market compared to Jarrett Brooks, right? So now he has the belt. Are you going to protect him so he can keep the belt? What you going to do? It's crazy. And I feel sorry for Jarrett Brooks. He's a great guy. I saw the pictures, he shrugged it off and life happens. He didn't mean no ill will and he didn't. Jarrett Brooks didn't he wanted to beat him soundly and let him know that he's the mother effer, but he wasn't trying to hurt the guy, right? Getting dumped on your head ain't nothing new for a wrestler. Happens all the time. It's your job to stop it, which comes down. Herb Dean says, protect yourself at all times. Except when a wrestler's on your back and he's picking you up for the power slam. You don't got to protect yourself then because it's Jarrett's job to protect Josh, not the other way around. Okay? See how confusing it get, right? I got you in a dominant position, right? I'm in control. I could go ahead and get this fight over and done with after I power slam you and go ahead and ground and pound you. Maybe the fight may be over, which is exactly how it unfolded. Okay? And that's what probably Jared Brooks was thinking. He wasn't thinking he gonna get hurt when his power slam happens. He gonna go, I'm gonna be in a dominant position when I get on top and I'm gonna ground and pound the shit out of him. That's probably what he was thinking. Right? Up, down, finish. Not up, jump you on your head so your neck get hurt and then I gotta lose my belt. He wasn't thinking that. Right? See how easy he can get out of whack? Now Jared's in the holding pattern until we figure out what's next. Right? It's not so much controversy. It's just crazy. It's just a crazy situation, with such a hyped up fight that's needed on both sides. Joshua has to get the belt back. He wants to prove that he's a dominant fighter and he's a true champion, which 12 defenses, he is, right? Against Jared Brooks, who beat him the first time and is on a killing tear, beating up everybody. Winning the fight, Demetrius Johnson, he has to go ahead and get Joshua off his plate, right? So now it's all up for grabs. It's all up for grabs now because we got to get this one back. How soon can we do it? Is it possible? Does Joshua even want it? Is he going to come back 100%? You got all these questions. Is one championship going to protect Joshua moving forward? Yada, yada, yada. Right? So we shall see. All right. It is what it is, fight fans. So let's see. All right. That's all I got. Is Joshua a belt holder or is he a champion? Is the question. That's all I got. This is Coach D, doing what I'm doing, calling it like I see it, talking my share of shit. To hear from me again, peace out.